Hi, I'm Mark, the geeky guy from Amelia Scott Designs, and in this pro tip, I'm going to show you how to install Embroidery Tool Shed software from our friends at Dime. Now, the install is actually very simple, but just in case it helps, I'm going to walk you through it, and you can absolutely do this install because I'm here to help. The install for Embroidery Tool Shed has one or two steps to it. It's actually very easy, but we're going to walk through it and I'm going to show you the steps so you know exactly what to expect. I am going to go through this install in Microsoft Edge. I have just, quote, purchased Embroidery Tool Shed. And as you see here, it's free, which is lovely. But I do want to show you one or two things here. Now, on this screen, this is the confirmation screen that you see after you complete the, quote, purchase. Now, on the left, it tells you what product you have, Embroidery Tool Shed. On the right, there's a link under the heading that says download. That's the one you want, actually. If you click on the link over here on the left, it will take you back to information about Embroidery Tool Shed. You've already seen that, so you don't need to click that link. We're going to go instead over to the link for the Embroidery Tool Shed installer, and I'll click that. So I click the link, and you see up in the upper right-hand corner here, it is starting the download. Well, actually, you can see that it's finished the download already. And you can see that I've downloaded a few other files. And yes, this is not the first time today that I have downloaded the installer. And that window shows you this. Now, you can either click on the name or you can click on the link that says open file. It does not matter which one you choose. So I'm just going to click. Actually, I'm going to click on neither. Wahaha. And there we go. It opened my downloads folder. And you see that there is the downloader. Now, the way this install works is it pulls down this downloader that gets your system set for the install. And then when I double click on this program to run it, it will reach out to the Dime website to get the latest version of Embroidery Tool Shed. And yes, I'm having to work really hard to say that word, but it will download the latest installer and then we'll install that. So I'm going to just double click here on the downloader. Okay, you can see it initialized. It says, hey, we're going to download a setup program. That's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to click OK. All right, now you see the progress. It's downloading the installer. You see the gray bar is turning blue. That's a good thing. And in just a moment, we will be able to run this. When the bar goes away, that means that the download is complete. 0 seconds left. Bar is completely full. We give it another second to think about it. And there we go. The installer, ETS, Embroidery Tool Shed Setup, is there. And yes, mine has a number 2 on it because guess what? It's not the first time today that I have downloaded this one either. I wanted to install that, so I go ahead and click on it. And if things work consistently, it should open the installer. Don't know why I'm not seeing the installer. Oh, it's thinking about it. I got a little bit ahead of myself. I'm going to close my web browser. I'm going to close this. Here we go. Now it popped up the window. So if I had just left my mouse alone and not clicked on things, it would have eventually brought up this window showing that it's preparing to install. But I got a little bit impatient, and so I clicked on some things. So just to restate it, when I clicked the link to open file, it automatically launched the installer. So here is the progress on the preparing the installer. You notice down the bottom, there's an icon for the install shield wizard. That's exactly what you want to see. So we're going to give this a moment to finish doing its work. If you do not see the screen right away, you can minimize the other windows by hitting that little minus sign that appears in the upper right-hand corner of the web browser. Here, let me show you. It's almost done. So, but see this minimize button right there gets that web browser out of the way, and you can see the installer. Now, depending on how fast your computer is, that process can go lickety-split really quick, or it can take a moment or two like it's taking on mine. This is a reasonably good computer, but it's got a spinning hard drive in it, which means that sometimes it takes a little longer to install things and set things up. Okay, welcome to the Install Shield Wizard. This is the installer. That's where I want to be. So I'm going to click the next button down here. It wants me to agree to the license. I do. I accept the terms because that's the only way I'm going to get to use it. And I click next. And it says, if I'm ready, I should click install. I am, so I will. Now the installer is going to do its work. So it's time to just sit back and let it do its thing. Now, to state the obvious, when that gray bar turns green all the way, it should be done. Although sometimes it has a couple of different processes and it'll turn each one of those processes from gray to green. So if you see the bar flash, that's what's going on. So now it's in the process of copying the files into the right directories on the computer so it can work. This part takes a moment or two. While I'm waiting, perhaps I'll do something. One moment. Well, the installer is still running, still doing its thing. Like I said earlier, sometimes computers just take a little time to do things, so I'm going to multitask. Time for a little light reading. Let's see, what shall we go for today? Pericles? Nah, 12th Night? Maybe. Let's see, Henry VI? Okay. Ooh, Richard III. That's a good one. Let's go for some Richard III. And hey, this one is even illustrated. So the installer has finished with its main work. Now, Dime provides some information here on this web page about some things, completing the registration form, things like that. I'm going to walk you through the install process, though, so you don't really need to worry about it. When you see this screen, come back up to the edge of the web browser and click that minimize button. And there we go. Click that minimize button, and we get back to the installer, and it says, congratulations, you have finished. Click the finish button to end the install. I do, and it's done. Now, you see on screen that it has added a couple of icons to my desktop. One is for help, and one is to launch Embroidery Tool Shed. So the install is basically done now. I'm going to click on this, though, double click on it actually, to launch the program. Here it comes. And here we go. We are in the program. This is a little splash screen or an introduction screen. One of the nice things about this product is that Dime is currently giving away some free designs. You can get that. You can open a new design from here, or you can just close this window, and now you are ready to start using Embroidery Tool Shed. All right. I hope this has been helpful. If you have our Edge to Edge Pro book, then Christine has recorded a video that shows the basics of how to use Embroidery Tool Shed. I think you'll find that very helpful. Otherwise, feel free to play. Enjoy!